We can all imagine winning the lottery, but imagine rigging the lottery. This is unimportant.
Guaranteed to not change your life. This is the Unimportant Podcast.
Welcome to the Unimportant Podcast. My name's Anthony. That is Joe Bob. Today we're talking about rigging the lottery.
What would you do if you won the lottery?
I would disappear.
I would not tell a soul. You would never see me again.
No, honestly, I've thought about this many times.
Okay.
I don't play the lottery, but I've thought about if I somehow won without actually playing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would continue my life with zero changes for like 12 months.
Oh, of course.
Because like the people who win the lottery go nuts. Like they lose their mind.
Winning the lottery is a death sentence.
Yeah.
Like it is. There's no way out of not unless you do it well, which very few people have done. But yeah, the majority of people just ruins your life.
Yeah,
entirely.
I would literally take $2,000 and go to the most awesome dinner ever, and then put all the money in the bank and not touch it for just continue and just spend like my weekends thinking about how I want to go around spending $50 million.
So the first thing you should do before you even, so the problem with people who win the lottery is they generally, the first day they're like on TV and then the family members just start coming out of the woodwork. And then, so the first thing you should do is one, don't tell anyone.
No.
Like, tell your wife.
Oh, no.
Maybe.
Bad idea. Bad idea.
And then hire a lawyer. Immediately go find a lawyer, get him under retainer there's no disclosure.
Yep.
So I think in a lot of on a lot of lotteries, there's a lot of different lotteries, so they'll have different rules. So you have to disclose who you are in order to get the money. But I think you have 6 months to do it.
Got it.
So if you can somehow stay under the radar and then very quietly collect your funds, that's the best way to do it, and don't change your lifestyle all that much, or you will be bankrupt and
then one day
miserable.
just vanish.
Yeah,
just buy a Caribbean island
and then just go there. And do whatever you want. But so this guy, there's a guy named Stefan Mendel who won the lottery, or has won many different lotteries. So so we've talked about this, and I'm sure anybody who's followed the lottery in the news, there's been some big winners in the last couple years.
There was one that was almost $1 billion, right?
That was in my hometown, actually.
Get out.
Yeah, I got a news update on my phone that said winning lottery ticket of like whatever $500 billion or $500 million sold in Chino Hills. And I was like, no. And there was like a slight like little thing in me that was like, what if my dad bought it? Yeah. Like what would happen? But yeah, so
your dad would never tell you. he would do exactly what we're saying.
He may have won. Who knows? So this guy, we've all kind of, when thinking about the lottery, thinking, all right, what if I just bought every single winning number?
Yeah,
and it worked out to where I won the jackpot and got all the money, and it paid off my investment. Right. This is what this guy did. This is what this guy did over the last 30 years. Has done this in numerous different lotteries. This guy, so Stefan Mendel, is from Romania. In Romania, this is his first. He calls himself a weekend mathematician. So he's not a mathematician by profession.
How bored do you have to be? People go fishing. People play softball.
I do math.
People play instruments. This guy does math. This is what he does for fun.
So the lottery, the first lottery that he did this in, there were 6 numbers ranging from 1 to 40. So there was 3,838,380 chances or combinations, right? He got every single. So here's his strategy, right? And this is it. It's kind of like like it makes sense. Yeah. When the number gets to 3 times the number of combinations, right? So the lottery jackpot gets to 3 times that amount. He goes all in and buys every single number ticket, right? And he does that. So there's double, right? But there's so many different variables of what if somebody else also wins?
So there's 3 million combinations.
3.8 million combinations.
Tickets are $1 if it gets to.
Yeah.
We'll just say 3 million, so 9 million.
Yeah, exactly. Then he
goes and spends $3 million.
Yeah, buying lottery tickets. So this one, he waited until it got to $11.5 million and ended up winning all of the money back. Plus some, right? This is his first one that he won. His cut was not a ton because he has to go get investors. He doesn't have this type of money,
right?
So he gets all of his investors together. He ends up winning $19,000. which doesn't sound great, but
That's not worth your time.
well, hold on. It was enough to bribe the government to let him out of the country, so he moves westward and then starts really raking in the money, right? Which, makes sense.
Okay.
Now, his margins aren't entirely high. There was one in 1987 where he won $1.3 million, but after he paid back his investors and his taxes, it left him with that like $100,000, which again isn't a bad pull, especially in the 80s. $100,000 in the 80s.
Significantly more now.
Yeah, way more. And on top of that, like, what did he do? Didn't really do
Not too
much.
bad for a weekend mathematician.
Throughout the 80s, the Australian-based Lotto Syndicate, he hit 12 jackpots and scored more than $400,000 in winnings before it drew the attention of authorities, which obviously it's going to, right? Because they're not going to let you just do this.
Is this illegal?
So it is now, right? But it wasn't.
You can't. What? How can it be illegal?
February 1992 was his biggest win,
Okay.
right? The Virginia State Lottery jackpot had reached more than $27 million, right? And he won it. He won $27 million. He won the jackpot, right? So here's how he did it, right? He had a man on the ground, and he oversaw the processing of 7 million tickets at over 100 grocery stores and gas stations all over the state of Virginia. Because it has to be a pretty big operation. And at the time, you could use computers to print
7
out your numbers,
million.
and then you'd have somebody process the tickets.
Hundreds of people doing this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A ton of them over 100 different locations too.
Oh my
So what is that?
gosh.
70,000 people or 70,000 locations? Yeah, it's nuts. Sorry, 70,000 tickets per location. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he won $27 million. In the jackpot, 6 second place prizes, 132 third place prizes, and 135 minor prizes. This guy cleaned house on this Virginia
Do we know
lottery.
how much he spent to win the $27 million?
I would assume 7 million tickets. If it's $1 a ticket, I don't actually know. I should have. This is something.
Come
I should have
on!
done. I have a feeling that the editor is going to put the amount and then idiots after this. But since then, since that happened, obviously every lottery goes, no, this cannot happen again.
Yeah.
Now, all 44 states that have lotteries have since changed the laws to where you can no longer do this. So it's like one of those things that everybody thinks about, but somebody did it first.
Somebody actually did it.
And now it's illegal. It ruined it for all of us. We all could have been millionaires because that's how
I don't think we
works.
all could have. I think like one of us could.
Yeah.
One or two more of us.
And it was him. Anyway, this is unimportant.
Subscribe to the Unimportant Podcast if you want to know everything you need to know about nothing you need